You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Samaria Rice, the mother of Tamir Rice and Lisa Simpson, the mother of Richard Reicher, who was shot and killed in Los Angeles, are calling for Tamika Mallory, Ben Crump, and a number of others to step down from their involvement in activism in fighting for black people. Now, a statement was released by Samaria Rice, and she made some posts last week on Facebook blasting Tamika and others, really criticizing them for their work. That's led to lots of conversation back and forth from a lot of people, and I really thought it's important for us to really walk through this and break this down, because I've seen a lot of comments on social media. I've seen people going back and forth. No, go back to the statement, please. I've seen people going back and forth, and so I want to break this down. So this is the statement here, the official statement from Samaria Rice, mother Tamir Rice, and Lisa Simpson. Tamika D. Mallory, Sean King, Benjamin Crump, Lee Merritt, Patrice Cullors, Melina Abdullah, and the Black Lives Matter Global Network need to step down, stand back, and stop monopolizing and capitalizing our fight for justice and human rights. We never hired them to be representatives in the fight for justice for our dead loved ones murdered by the police. The activists have events in our cities and have not given us anything substantial for using our loved ones' images and names on their flyers. The attorneys in our fight are also misleading the impacted families. In the case of Tamir Rice, it was even questionable as to whether Benjamin Crump knew the laws in depth in the state of Ohio. I fired him 6 to 8 months into Tamir's case. We don't want or need y'all parading in the streets, accumulating donations, platforms, movie deals, etc., off the death of our loved ones, while the families and communities are left clueless and broken. Don't say our loved ones' names, period. That's our truth. Now, that is the statement. Okay? Now, so I was on Twitter, and the mother of Lisa Simpson, she actually posted a variety of tweets on this very issue that are important. That are important because what she is saying is that they need to be paid. They posted this tweet right here. Update from Samaria Rice. This was at 1:34 today. I've been contacted by the following people: Patrice Cullors, Sean King, and Tamika Mallory. Me and my team will be preparing an official response. Thank you to everyone who has joined me and Lisa Simpson in fighting for our sons. Okay, so that was a tweet that they actually sent out today on this very issue. The other thing is when you begin to break down what was stated, because Samaria Rice was really upset when Tamika Mallory was on the Grammys, when she spoke on that particular program, and it was doing a performance by the baby. Now, I'm going to walk through this, and I'm going to show you several things, because I think it's important as we talk about this that we really properly walk through it so people understand what was said, what was done, and really what is involved. I know Tamika very well. What's interesting about this is that Tamika wasn't involved in the case with Tamir Rice. Tamika didn't travel to Cleveland, wasn't out there doing anything with regards to that case. But this was the performance that really angered Tamir Rice. Watch this. Not sure why we're not getting any sound. All right, guys, we'll figure that out. But I know it's kicking out sound here. So she speaks at the Grammys. They come up with the statement saying you've raised money off of Tamir Rice. Tamika did a podcast where she broke that down. So here, we understand the pain and the agony of both of these mothers who've lost sons. But when they call on all the folks they mentioned to step down from the movement, no disrespect to Lisa Simpson or Tamir Rice, but they don't speak for all of the families who've actually lost loved ones. They only speak for themselves. Earlier, Tamika posted on her Instagram page, she posted a statement from the family of Brianna Taylor. And remember, they were in Until Freedom, the group that Tamika works for. They spent a significant amount of time in Louisville fighting on behalf of Brianna Taylor. This was the post. The family of Brianna Taylor fully supports and stands with Tamika Mallory and Until Freedom, just as they have with us. If you scroll through the comments, there was Sabrina Fulton, Trayvon Martin's mother. Tamika, I'm still with you because you are still with me. Hashtag say her name, Trayvon Martin. There was, and I'm looking for the comment, I saw it earlier. There was another family member who said that since their child had been shot and killed, Tamika had consistently talked to and communicated with the family. And so as we begin to unpack this, you have this emerging narrative where people are saying, y'all stole all this money. Now, a lot of this tension has been made public when Black Lives Matter announced that they had raised $90 million. A lot of this tension is a result of lots of back and forth on the issue. What's interesting about this is that the NAACP has actually received more money than Black Lives Matter Network since the death of George Floyd. Is anyone asking the NAACP to step down? Is anyone asking the NAACP they should not be fighting and speaking on behalf of communities and social justice? Why not? What's interesting here is that Tamir Rice talks about Ben Crump. Let me explain to y'all, and I don't have to defend Ben Crump. I'm only explaining to you what works. Let me be real clear. What works. When you are hired as a lawyer, you're out of state, you have to partner with local counsel. We've seen this happen. We've seen this in Minneapolis. We've seen other cases. We've seen this in Dallas. I mean, we can go on and on and on. That's what a Ben Crump will do. If there's a case in Georgia, they will partner with attorneys that are in Georgia. If it happens in Ohio, they will partner with attorneys there in Ohio. Typically, families hire folks like Ben Crump to actually bring attention to their case. That's why they get hired. That's how this works. This is no different than when Johnny Cochran was alive. Johnny Cochran was hired. Families could have easily hired a local attorney. But they brought in Johnny Cochran because Johnny Cochran brings in cameras. To the idiots who are on YouTube saying I'm always speaking for Ben Crump, y'all can go to hell. I don't always speak for Ben Crump. I'm telling you how it works. I'm telling you that whether you hire a white attorney, a black attorney, doesn't matter. If an attorney is licensed in Florida and you hire them, there's a legal process they must go through to work on a case. That has nothing to do with one or the other. See, the issue here is not, oh, you're defending Black Lives Matter. No, the problem is there are far too many of you on Twitter, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on YouTube, who comment on stuff and you don't know any facts. Tamika Mallory wasn't in Cleveland protesting during the Tamir Rice case. If Samaria Rice is saying, don't mention my son's name, okay. Don't get mentioned. Don't be surprised if no one mentions what happened to your son and the case, if folks forget about it. Y'all, we can literally walk through all of this. Do y'all understand? When we cover the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March, there were numbers of families out there who were not on stage. Not every family story gets picked up. Not every family is going to be on national television. Not every settlement is going to be as large as the next one. I want to read. I want to read through a series of tweets. Just give me a second. Because I think this is vital because we're being walked through. And also, this is also what happens when people tweet stuff and lie. So, peaceful_rule on Twitter, you're a lying ass when you just tweeted 1 minute ago. Roland Martin is making an argument in favor of Tamika Mallory, Ben Crump, and Sean King, claiming the tension with Samaria Rice and Lisa Simpson is over $90 million raised by BLM. This is also reductive and actually not what Samaria said. You are a liar. And I'm going to call you a liar because you lied in 1 minute ago. I am fully unpacking what is going on here. You are a liar. So please don't lie. Tell folk exactly what I'm laying out. What I am laying out is that, and I've been covering this, I have been covering the tension that has existed inside of the Black Lives Matter movement. We've had critics on. We've had Patrice Cullors on. What I am saying is, since the $90 million announcement was made, you've had Mike Brown and activists in Ferguson protesting, saying they should send $20 million of that to Ferguson. So see, don't lie and tell a partial thing of what we're doing. And everyone you mentioned, I didn't all mention. Let's just be real clear. So if you're going to open your mouth and say some things, then what you really need to do is speak truthfully. And the reason this is important is because there are people who have committed themselves to social justice and do understand ain't no 401k programs in social justice. It's not. There are people who are out there getting COVID, on the streets, getting arrested, raising awareness, doing all of those things when it comes to many of these cases. See, I'm going to deal in facts. And the reason I am going to deal in facts is because I need our people discussing this not from a factless position, but a fact-based position. Tamika Mallory is not the only activist in America. She's not. Until Freedom, the group she co-founded, is one organization. They are not tied to the Black Lives Matter Global Network. The New York Justice League, I've had them on. They are not tied. Do all of these folks know each other? Yes. First and foremost, the phrase Black Lives Matter is a phrase. The problem is people group all of the black activists together, all under the umbrella of Black Lives Matter. That's simply not the case. So do you group the National Urban League under there? See, if we're going to talk about people raising money and collecting money, I see the critics, oh, these folk raising money off of black pain, black death. Let's put it all on the table. Who else has raised money? NAACP, National Urban League, NAACP Legal Defense Fund, Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law, a plethora of local organizations. So what are we saying? If there's an organization that is in Charlotte and they are trying to change the laws to deal with police reform, are we saying that when they give a speech, they cannot bring up certain cases? Okay. Fine, done. Are we saying that they cannot have someone like this on a shirt? That's no problem. Okay, that's fine. I do believe it's problematic when we say, oh, y'all got to step down. Well, first of all, how do you tell someone to step down from an organization that they founded? I got somebody trying to tell me, yeah, I see it all. Some so-called truth seeker. Roland, I lost respect for you on this one. You can't even understand why Mrs. Rice felt that way watching that Grammy performance, turning this movement into some corporate sponsored performance. Well, that's nonsensical. See, let me unpack. You can't complain about corporate dollars when you asking for corporate dollars. I'm just trying to understand here. What are we actually talking about? What exactly is the real thing we're talking about? I'm looking for the because I think this is important, because I think that and I've been watching this, and I just been seeing way too many black people like really caught up in all of this stuff and not really unpacking this thing. Perfect example. I see this tweet about Tamika Mallory simultaneously capitalizing off of their grief. We saw that with Brianna Khan. How was Tamika Mallory? See, let me just go. Y'all, this is the criticism I just showed you. Go ahead and show it. So they're criticizing this Brianna Khan Days of Action Brie barbecue. Yo, they did this with the Brianna family. They were literally passing out food to the community. So are we upset with the name or with what they did? Are we upset with the name Brianna Khan, Days of Action, or are we upset with the work? And now are we mad with the folk who do the work? I'm just trying to understand the work that was done. Y'all don't remember that? If you don't think the protests in Louisville every single day putting pressure on the city, if you don't think that did not play a role in the settlement for the family of Brianna Taylor that went beyond money, I don't know what planet you're living on. How did that protest happen? How do you pay for the billboards? How do you pay for the permits? How do you pay to bail people out of jail who are protesting? How? How can you have a movement if we are asking the people to lead the movement for free? See, when we lump everybody together, Tamika Mallory is with Until Freedom. Sean King is Sean King. Ben Crump is Ben Crump. Black Lives Matter Global Movement is the Black Lives Matter Global Movement. These are separate entities. Do folks cross-pollinate? Yes. Do they talk? Yes. Do they share? Yes. Well, hell, so does the NAACP, the Urban League, and everybody else. How are lawsuits filed? What do we do here? How do folks begin to do this? See, again, we can go through this and it's important that we do. So what are we saying here? Are we saying that we're mad that a Tamika Mallory, see, let me just really, are we saying that a Tamika Mallory, how dare you speak about social justice during the Grammys when that presentation reached millions of people, otherwise you wouldn't reach them? Roll it.
People, it's time we stand, it's time we demand the freedom that this land promises. President Biden, we demand justice, equity, policy, and everything else that freedom encompasses. And to accomplish this, we don't need allies, we need accomplices. It's bigger than black and white. This is not a trend, this is our plight until freedom.
That's what we're mad about? That. The reason I believe we are seeing this, and I said from the top, no one can understand the pain of losing a child to police violence except those who have lost a child to police violence. We have seen too many mothers and fathers lose children to police violence. There is Samaria Rice, there's Lisa Simpson. There's Philando Castile's mama. There's John Crawford Jr. Rakia Boyd's family. Ayanna Jones' family. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But here's the very basic question that we have to ask ourselves. If you are a black mama and a black daddy and your child has been shot by the police and nothing has been done, who are you going to call? Who are you going to call to try to get justice for your child?